Alessa Gillespie was a student of Midwich Elementary School. She is believed to be born of a ritual led by a spiritualistic group known simply as the Cult or the Order, led by their leader and chosen mother to Alessa, Dahlia Gillespie. She suffered immense abuse by the hands of these people throughout her childhood. Even at a place she'd feel safe from this, her school, she was bullied and ostracized by her classmates for her upbringing and supernatural powers, choosing to spend her free time at school, not with friends as a child should, but crying in the bathroom instead. When the whole world seemed against her, there was one person who seemed to deeply care for the young girl, a teacher of Midwich known as Gordan. She is a minor character of the Silent Hill series and doesn't make an appearance here or in any of the preceding games. We don't know her face or her backstory. In the third game, we do have one letter written by her, expressing her concern over Alessa's bullying and abuse by her mother. There's a girl named Alyssa in my class. If your memory is any good, you may remember her. She's the one I said they called a witch. Most likely her mother is abusing her. I've never seen her come in without some sort of scrape or bruise. Her expression is pitifully dark for a 6-year-old. Something like this may not be so uncommon. Rather than just come up with pointless ideas, it's best to just watch and wait. But isn't there something I can do to help? I'm considering consulting a lawyer, but I do have my reservations. That's why I thought I'd ask you, my friend, for your opinion first. As we can see, she is a very caring and thoughtful person, choosing to do all she can to help Alyssa and was possibly even seen as her adoptive mother or older sister. After completing this section of the game as Harry, a cutscene plays in the boiler room, which shows Alyssa as a teenager along with Kay Gordon's house key. This suggests that they might have come down here to talk in private about the abuse, but this is purely speculative. She could have even invited Alyssa into her home even. Unfortunately, this is where the mystery begins, and it's a very tragic one. Continuing onward, we find ourselves in another long alleyway. It's here where we are greeted by a wall of blood covering a large garage door, along with the house plate, Kay Gordon. And so the questions are, is this her blood? Was she murdered by the cult, or is this just another strange coincidence, another creepy visual manifested by the town? On the surface, the blood isn't too much of a surprise or mystery at all. There's many instances in Silent Hill that have similar, if not more disturbing imagery than this. Earlier on, we come across a house on Levin Street which has a very similar bloodstain on the garage door. So what makes this one so special? Well, for one, the house on Levin Street has a clear victim. We can see a bloody doghouse in the garden, and not too long before this we can see a dog's head next to a basketball hoop. Pretty disgusting stuff. It's safe to assume that the blood on the garage door belongs to this dog. Don't worry though, as there is an explanation for this. Alyssa's fears are the driving force of a lot of the strange monsters and gruesome imagery of Silent Hill 1, one of her most prominent being the fear of large dogs called cynophobia. It's likely that this is just a manifestation of Alyssa's fear of dogs, and this isn't a real crime that took place here, at least I hope not. However, assuming this theory to be true, this doesn't explain the blood on Kay Gordon's garage. There's no doghouse or any other possible relation to Alyssa's fears nearby. This one is just real. So who did this? Many people, including myself, have speculated that she was killed by the cult for her concern and complaints regarding Alyssa's mistreatment, in which she even considered consulting a lawyer. The cult, being as powerful as they are, found out this information and silenced her before any more harm or suspicion could be raised. In Silent Hill Origins, we have another note of interest which confirms that she filed a complaint against her mother that was unsuccessful, as Michael Kaufman, the director of Alchemilla Hospital, is a close affiliate with the cult and issued false autopsy reports regarding Alyssa's abuse to keep his side of the deal, being more interested about the money he could generate from selling hallucinogenic drugs to tourists.
Darkness devouring the town. Must be on drugs. They sell them to the tourists.
Speaking of which, we also find a note in Norman's motel which states that the mayor of Silent Hill's anti-drug administration supposedly died of heart failure of unknown origin. I think it's obvious what really happened, so I don't need to clarify further. If the cult could murder someone with this much influence and face no repercussions whatsoever, a humble elementary school teacher should be an easy target in comparison. It's even possible that Kaufman himself murdered Kay Gordan, as he is the only other character besides Sybil who carries a gun with him. But whether it was him, Dahlia, or someone else in the cult, there's a very clear connection between the two, as well as a plausible motive. We now have solid evidence to support this theory, but on its own I don't think it's conclusive enough to close the case right here. We need to look around a little to see if there's anything else. Starting from the garage first, we can tell that the blood seems to trail a little from her back garden. After examining all of the nearby garages, there's not much here besides some bins. Just to rule out the possibility entirely, I took the in-game camera inside the garage and there's obviously nothing in here. I didn't expect to find her lifeless body staring back at me, but it's always worth a try. After following the trail into the back garden, I was honestly expecting to find something. Even if it's just a speck of blood on the floor somewhere, it would be enough to convince me at this point. But no, everything seems suspiciously normal. There's only one bin, 2 chairs and a table with nothing on it. The garden itself is very well kept and tidy, with no signs of damage or blood anywhere. It looks very nice and peaceful, a complete contrast to the subject matter I'm working with here. The same applies to her front garden too. Unlike the doghouse with blood all over it, it just seems like another random house in Silent Hill, which makes this mystery more intriguing in my opinion. But there has to be something, so let's check inside. After searching around a little, it's clear that she had a family or guests over, as there is a dining table with multiple plates and chairs. We can also find a television and a really nice painting of an owl. The door in the hallway is jammed, so we can't search upstairs either, so once again there doesn't seem to be any more clues around at all. That's until we lower our focus to the floor and notice a broken plate, possibly indicating a struggle of some sort. But one broken plate could easily just be a coincidence. Maybe her kid dropped it and no one noticed. But there isn't just one, there's actually 3 we can find in her home. This rules out the possibility of an accident. Something definitely happened here. Assuming that the cult did break in and kill her on the spot, there should be more damage than this. No blood or any signs indicating a desperate struggle to fight back for her life. 3 plates seems a little too tidy for a murder scene. And if they wanted to clean up any evidence left behind, why did they leave the plates behind? This doesn't make any sense. Personally, I don't think that she was killed in her home with a weapon. I think she was the victim of a drug created by none other than the director of the hospital himself, Dr. Kaufman, being in charge of manufacturing the drug PTV and having extensive knowledge of the drug trade. He created an anesthetic for the exact purpose of killing Kay Gordan and was planning on dumping her body into Luca Lake, leaving behind no evidence in the process and ultimately being declared a missing persons report. However, the drug was unsuccessful and she woke up in a state of shock, and the doctor had no choice but to pull out his gun and finish the job right there, leaving a gruesome reminder. What we see now years later as Harry is the town simply portraying the aftermath of those events. Let me know what you think of this. Do you think she's still alive? Did something else happen to her? For a series notorious for creating so many awful people and those with deep psychological struggles, Kay Gordan is one of those rare kind souls that only wanted to help a young girl overcome adversity and abuse. Sadly, she was most likely unaware of Dahlia and the cult's power and influence over the town and faced the consequences because of it. Maybe in an eventual remake we will get an official answer to her fate, but as of now this is yet another mystery in the series that we can only guess at.